You've been living in a fraction of your own reality. Every thought, every decision, every experience you've ever had, all processed through a thin layer of consciousness, like ripples on the surface of a vast and mysterious ocean. But what if that ocean wasn't just a metaphor? What if your mind is part of something far greater, an interconnected intelligence stretching beyond time, beyond space, beyond everything you've been conditioned to believe? Right now, your conscious mind is filtering out almost everything. Scientists estimate that the human brain processes 11 million bits of information per second, yet only a tiny fraction, about 40 bits, enters your conscious awareness. Everything else, hidden beneath the surface, shaping your thoughts, emotions, and even your reality itself. And here's the shocking truth. The conscious mind, the very thing you rely on to understand the world, is actually holding you back. It's not the master of your life. It's just the tip of something infinitely more powerful. Think of it like this. You've spent your entire life believing that your mind is an iceberg, with a small, visible portion above the surface, your conscious awareness, and a vast, unseen mass below, your subconscious. But this analogy is completely wrong. Your consciousness isn't an iceberg. It's an entire ocean, teeming with depth, intelligence, and unseen forces shaping your destiny. And beyond this ocean, something even greater, a superconscious reality that connects all of us, a hidden superpower that only a few have learned to access. The question is, are you ready to unlock it? Because today we're about to go deeper than we ever have before. We'll break through the illusions of the 3 layers of mind, from the conscious to the subconscious and ultimately to the superconscious, the true seat of human potential. We'll uncover the undeniable evidence that your mind is linked to a vast collective intelligence, one that has shaped civilizations, guided great thinkers, and continues to influence your life in ways you may not even realize. And most importantly, we'll reveal how to access this hidden superpower for yourself, not just through meditation or abstract theories, but through practical, mind-expanding techniques that will forever change the way you think, perceive, and experience reality. By the end of this video, you won't just understand superconsciousness, you'll feel it. You'll recognize the signs that it's already influencing your life, and you'll have the keys to unlocking your mind's next evolutionary leap, one that could redefine not just your personal reality, but our entire collective future. So get ready, because the mind you think you know, it's only the beginning. Most people assume they are in control of their thoughts, that the voice inside their head, the one narrating their life, analyzing situations, making choices, is the ultimate authority. But this is the first great illusion of the mind. The truth? Your conscious mind is not in charge. It's like the captain of a ship who thinks he's steering the entire vessel, unaware that beneath the deck, unseen forces are controlling the tides, the winds, even the ship's own mechanics. And beyond that, a vast ocean, stretching infinitely in every direction, full of mysteries he has yet to even fathom. This is the reality of the human mind. It isn't just a single entity, but a layered structure. And today we're about to break through those layers. The first layer, the conscious mind, the illusion of control. Your conscious mind is what you experience as you, the part of your awareness that thinks, plans, and makes deliberate choices. It's where logic and reasoning take place. It's where your identity exists, the voice that says, I am. But as powerful as it seems, it's also shockingly limited. Consider this, your brain is taking in millions of sensory inputs at this very moment. The pressure of your feet on the ground, the hum of background noise, the scent in the air, the subtle shifts in your breathing. But how many of these are you consciously noticing? Almost none. That's because your conscious mind can only process an infinitesimally small fraction of reality at any given time. Everything else? Filtered out, hidden, stored below the surface. And this is where the second layer of mind comes in. The second layer, the subconscious mind, the silent powerhouse. Imagine an enormous vault, one that holds every experience, every memory, every thought pattern you've ever encountered, even the ones you've forgotten. This is your subconscious mind. It's the engine running beneath the surface, quietly shaping your perceptions, emotions, and behaviors without you even realizing it. Ever had a gut feeling about something, even when you had no logical reason to? That's your subconscious speaking. Ever found yourself reacting a certain way in a situation without understanding why? That, too, is the subconscious. It's always there, always working, absorbing everything, even the things your conscious mind ignores. This is why habits are so powerful. Repetition imprints patterns onto the subconscious, making certain actions automatic. It's also why trauma, fears, and emotional triggers can feel so deeply ingrained. They aren't just passing thoughts. They are wired into the foundation of your mind. But here's the real secret. Even the subconscious, vast and powerful as it is still not the ultimate level of the mind. Because beyond it lies something even greater, a master control room, a hidden intelligence that not only governs your life but connects you to something beyond yourself. The third layer, the superconscious mind, the gateway to limitless potential. What if your mind wasn't just a collection of personal memories, thoughts, and experiences? What if it was tapping into something much larger, a field of intelligence that exists beyond the physical brain? This is the superconscious mind. Unlike the subconscious, which stores past experiences, the superconscious is connected to future possibilities, to insights, intuition, and higher states of awareness that transcend individual existence. This is the realm where breakthrough ideas emerge, where moments of profound clarity, inspiration, and insight come from. Ever had a sudden realization that felt like it came out of nowhere? That's a glimpse of the superconscious at work. It's the source of creativity, intuition, and deep knowing. It's where the greatest scientific discoveries, spiritual awakenings, and life-altering revelations come from. It's not just personal, it's universal. And here's the key, you are already connected to it. The challenge? Most people never access it consciously. They remain trapped in the limited awareness of their conscious and subconscious minds, never realizing the potential that lies just beyond their reach. This is the paradox. The more you rely on your thinking mind, the further you move away from the superconscious state. The conscious mind is like a loud, overactive radio station, constantly analyzing, worrying, planning, questioning. It drowns out the subtle signals from the deeper mind. That's why moments of profound insight often come when you stop thinking, when you're relaxed, dreaming, or deeply immersed in an experience. This is why meditation, deep focus, and certain altered states of consciousness can unlock hidden knowledge. They silence the noise and allow the deeper layers of mind to emerge. The first major reveal, the superconscious as the master control room. Most people believe that intelligence is something produced by the brain, that consciousness is inside the head. But what if this isn't true? What if the brain is simply a receiver, a tuning device for a much greater intelligence? This is what ancient wisdom traditions and cutting-edge science are beginning to confirm. Consciousness is not confined to the brain. The mind extends beyond the physical body into a field of awareness that connects all things. And the superconscious? That's the master control room of reality itself. It's the layer of mind that transcends space and time, the source of premonitions, synchronicities, and moments of inexplicable knowing. It's the intelligence behind the great works of art, the breakthroughs in science, the mystical experiences that defy logic. And here's the most important part. You can access it. In the next part of this journey, we'll uncover the undeniable proof that all minds are connected, that what you think, feel, and believe is not just personal, but part of a greater collective intelligence shaping reality itself. Because once you understand this, you'll never see the world the same way again. There's something happening right now that you can't see. A connection, invisible but undeniable, linking you to every other person on this planet. It's not metaphorical. It's not wishful thinking. It's a reality backed by science, ancient wisdom, and experiences that defy all logic. And here's the secret. You've already felt it. A sudden thought of someone, only for them to call you minutes later. A strange sense of familiarity in a place you've never been. An idea appearing in your mind at the exact same time as someone else. Coincidence? Or proof that our minds are not as separate as we've been led to believe? Right now, you are plugged into something greater than yourself. A vast, interconnected intelligence that binds human consciousness into a single, shared reality. And today, we're about to uncover the scientific proof that this collective mind is real. For centuries, spiritual traditions have spoken of an unseen field that links all beings. A space where thoughts, emotions, and even knowledge can be shared beyond physical means. They called it the Akashic Field, the world soul, the great mind of the universe. But modern science? It has another name for it, the collective consciousness. And the proof is more compelling than you might think. Swiss psychologist Carl Jung was one of the first modern thinkers to recognize that our minds don't exist in isolation. He proposed that humanity shares something far deeper than just culture or language, a collective unconscious that influences our thoughts, dreams, and instincts. Jung found that across different civilizations, even those with no contact, the same symbols, myths, and patterns kept appearing. How could cultures that had never met tell the same stories, dream the same dreams, and develop the same spiritual concepts? Jung's answer: there exists a shared psychological blueprint, an underlying field of knowledge that all human beings unknowingly tap into. And what's even more fascinating, it's not just about ancient myths. This collective mind is still active today, shaping the way we think, feel, and interact with the world. The deeper researchers looked, the more evidence they found. 1. Identical inventions across the world, throughout history, groundbreaking discoveries have emerged in different parts of the world at the exact same time, even when communication was impossible. The telephone? Independently invented by two scientists at once. Calculus? Developed separately by Newton and Leibniz. The theory of evolution? Both Darwin and Wallace came to it independently. 2. The 100th monkey effect. In a now famous study, researchers observed that when a group of monkeys on an island learned a new behavior, the same behavior spontaneously appeared in another group of monkeys on a completely different island, with no possible way for them to have communicated. 3. Dreams that predict reality. Some of the world's greatest artists, scientists, and thinkers have reported receiving knowledge in dreams. Ideas that later turned out to be true or led to world-changing discoveries. And then there's you. Think about the moments in your own life when you felt a deep, inexplicable connection with someone. The times you just knew something before it happened. The conversations where you and another person thought the exact same thing at the exact same moment. This isn't imagination. This is the collective mind in action. Across every culture, across every era of history, certain universal symbols keep appearing. Jung called these archetypes deep, fundamental images that exist in the human psyche. The wise old mentor, the hero's journey, the shadow self. Why do we all recognize these ideas instinctively? Why do they show up in myths, religions, and even our personal dreams, whether we grew up in the mountains of Tibet or the streets of New York? Because the collective mind speaks through symbols. Dreams aren't just random mental noise. They're a language, a gateway to the superconscious mind, one that operates on a level deeper than words. And here's where things get even stranger. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold, it doesn't just exist inside you. It exists inside us. Right now, as you're watching this, your mind is not isolated. It is plugged into the same vast intelligence that has shaped human evolution, inspired geniuses, and guided entire civilizations. And the more you become aware of this connection, the more power you gain. Take a moment. Think back to a time when you knew something before it happened. A time when you felt an invisible bond with another person. A moment when you had an idea, only to hear someone else say it out loud seconds later. These are not coincidences. They are glimpses. Glimpses of a hidden reality that has always been there, waiting for you to notice. And now, the real question is, how can you consciously tap into this superconscious field? Because the ability to access this intelligence is not reserved for mystics or philosophers. It's something you can awaken right now. In the next part, we'll explore the unmistakable signs that you're already accessing the superconscious, and the practical techniques that will allow you to harness it at will. Because once you learn to unlock this power, everything changes. Right now, something extraordinary is happening within you. You're not just absorbing information, you're activating something deeper, a part of your mind that has always been there, quietly waiting for you to notice. Because the truth is, you're not just a thinker, a dreamer, or even an observer of reality. You are something far more powerful. You are a receiver, a transmitter, a bridge between the seen and the unseen, between the conscious and the infinite. And whether you realize it or not, you are already tapping into your superconscious mind. The only question is, are you ready to take full control? Let's begin. For most people, superconscious moments happen by accident. Sudden flashes of insight, moments of deep knowing, or strange coincidences that defy all logic. But if you've ever experienced the following 3 signs, you've already had a glimpse of what's possible. 1. Spontaneous insights that feel like download. Ever had a moment where a fully formed idea just appears in your mind? No effort, no thinking, just an instant, crystal-clear realization? This isn't just inspiration. It's the superconscious mind breaking through the noise, delivering knowledge directly to you. Great scientists, artists, and inventors often describe this feeling. Einstein, Tesla, Da Vinci all claim their greatest discoveries came to them suddenly, as if from another realm. And here's the key. This ability isn't exclusive to geniuses. It's happening to you right now. Every time you suddenly understand something without explanation. Every time an idea comes to you as if whispered by an unseen force. That's your superconsciousness in action. 2. The synchronicity phenomenon, when coincidences aren't random. You think about an old friend, and minutes later they call you. You see the same number repeating everywhere, on clocks, receipts, street signs. You're contemplating a decision, and the exact answer you need appears in a song, a conversation, or a book you randomly pick up. These moments, they are not random. They are synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that occur when your conscious mind aligns with the deeper intelligence of the universe. The more you notice them, the more they appear. And the more they appear, the more proof you have that your mind is connected to something beyond itself. 3. Vivid dreams that feel more real than reality. Not all dreams are random mental noise. Some are messages. Some contain knowledge you've never encountered before. Some feel so real that they leave an impact long after you wake up. If you've ever had a dream that seemed prophetic, symbolic, or deeply insightful, chances are you were accessing the superconscious mind in your sleep. Your conscious mind may forget, but your deeper intelligence never does. And by learning to decode these messages, you can begin to actively access superconscious wisdom on command. Most people assume the only way to access higher states of consciousness is through meditation. But here's the truth. Superconscious access is not limited to sitting in silence with your eyes closed. In fact, some of the most powerful ways to unlock this intelligence come from unexpected places. Method number 1, the mind quieting technique. The number 1 reason people fail to access superconscious insights? Mental noise. Your conscious mind is constantly thinking, analyzing, and questioning. But the superconscious speaks in silence. Here's how to quiet your mind instantly. Find a quiet space. Close your eyes and take one slow, deep breath. Instead of trying to meditate, simply listen. Notice the spaces between your thoughts. Stay there for a few moments. The more you practice this, the more you'll notice that insights start appearing in these silent spaces. Your mind doesn't have to be empty, just still enough for the higher intelligence to come through. Method number 2, stream of consciousness writing. Writing is one of the fastest ways to bypass the conscious mind and tap directly into the superconscious. Try this. Grab a notebook and a pen. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Start writing without stopping. Don't filter. Don't edit. Let your thoughts flow freely. You'll be shocked at what comes out. Answers, insights, even knowledge that feels like it's coming from somewhere beyond yourself. This is one of the easiest ways to access the superconscious flow state, where knowledge is no longer something you seek, but something that pours through you effortlessly. Method number 3, the art of surrendered asking. Most people approach questions with active thinking, searching for an answer like a detective hunting for clues. But the superconscious doesn't work that way. Instead of forcing an answer, try this. Ask yourself a question you truly want answered. Instead of thinking about it, simply let it go. Move on with your day. Pay attention to any sudden insights, dreams, or synchronicities over the next 24 hours. You'll be stunned at how the answer arrives, effortlessly. With great power comes great responsibility. And not everything that appears to be higher knowledge is truly coming from the superconscious mind. So how do you know if what you're experiencing is real? True superconscious insights feel clear, calm, and effortless. Expansive, as if coming from a higher perspective. Free from fear, ego, or negative emotions. False insights, from ego or fear, feel urgent, anxious, or overwhelming. Rooted in control, superiority, or grandiosity. Confusing or contradictory. If a message comes with fear, doubt, or superiority, it's likely coming from the ego, not the superconscious. True higher wisdom is always peaceful, expansive, and deeply resonant. Right now, you are standing at the threshold of something extraordinary. Your mind is not just a passive observer of reality. It is a creator of it. And the more you tap into this superconscious intelligence, the more life will begin to shift. Synchronicities, insights, and moments of pure clarity appearing before you effortlessly. The best part? This isn't something reserved for mystics, monks, or spiritual gurus. It's your birthright. And in the next chapter, we'll uncover the greatest secret of all. Why superconsciousness might be the key to humanity's next evolution. Because this isn't just about you. It's about us. And once we unlock this power together, we change the future of our world. Right now, the world is at a tipping point. War, division, chaos. It's easy to believe that humanity is spiraling downward. But beneath the surface, something extraordinary is happening. A silent revolution, not of politics, not of technology, but of consciousness. Because for the first time in history, we are beginning to understand the true nature of our minds. And once enough of us awaken to the power of superconsciousness, we will unlock something far greater than personal transformation. We will unlock the next stage of human evolution itself. Right now, billions of people operate under a false belief, the idea that their consciousness is trapped inside their skulls, separated from everything else. This illusion creates a world of fear, competition, and scarcity. It makes us believe, I am separate from you. My survival depends on taking more. The world is random, disconnected, and meaningless. But what happens when a mind breaks free from this illusion? What happens when someone realizes that consciousness is not limited to the body, that it is part of a vast, interconnected field? Suddenly, the fear vanishes. Scarcity disappears. A new kind of intelligence awakens, one that doesn't just think, but knows. And the moment enough people experience this shift, the world will never be the same again. This isn't the first time humanity has undergone a radical shift in consciousness. In fact, history is filled with moments where collective awareness suddenly expanded, changing civilization overnight. The Axial Age, 800 to 200 BCE, out of nowhere, across completely different parts of the world, advanced spiritual and philosophical teachings emerged simultaneously. Laozi in China, Buddha in India, Socrates in Greece. None of them knew each other. None of them communicated. And yet, they all brought forward the same fundamental truths, that the mind shapes reality, that inner transformation is possible, and that humanity can evolve beyond base survival. How? Because superconscious insights don't belong to one person. They emerge when the collective mind is ready. And the next great shift is happening now. The scientific enlightenment, 16th to 18th century. Before the Renaissance, the idea that humans could understand the universe was almost unthinkable. Then, within a short span of time, something incredible happened. The invention of the printing press, the discovery of planetary motion, the birth of modern science. Almost overnight, humanity woke up to a new way of thinking. We went from passively accepting reality to actively questioning, exploring, and reshaping it. And today, we are standing at the edge of another awakening, not just of science, but of consciousness itself. If even a small percentage of people begin to consciously access the superconscious mind, everything will change. Because superconscious awareness isn't just about personal growth. It creates a new kind of society. Here's what will happen once humanity shifts into a superconscious civilization. 1. The end of conflict through collective awareness. Right now, most conflicts arise because people see themselves as separate from one another. But imagine if even a fraction of the world deeply understood that consciousness is shared. If people could feel the emotions of others as if they were their own. Empathy would no longer be a choice, it would be automatic. Wars, oppression, and manipulation would have no place in a world where people no longer see themselves as isolated individuals, but as expressions of the same universal mind. 2. A radical shift in how we create reality. Superconsciousness doesn't just perceive reality, it shapes it. Right now, science is already uncovering the mind's ability to influence the physical world. Studies on intention and energy fields, the effects of group meditation on reducing crime rates, the emerging science of biophotons and mind-matter interaction. Now, imagine a world where these abilities are not just understood, but actively developed. Where human beings no longer passively wait for change, but create it through thought, intention, and aligned consciousness. This isn't science fiction. It's the next step in human evolution. 3. The awakening of a new form of intelligence. Most people assume that intelligence is measured by IQ, but superconscious intelligence is not about logic, memory, or facts. It's about direct knowing, an instant, effortless understanding of truth that bypasses the slow, linear process of thinking. Throughout history, great geniuses have demonstrated this ability. Nikola Tesla once said that his inventions came to him in full detail, as if downloaded from another dimension. Da Vinci's ideas were so far ahead of his time that they wouldn't be replicated for centuries. Now, what happens when millions of people begin to awaken this level of intelligence? Not just a handful of individuals. A planetary golden age. An explosion of creativity, discovery, and progress beyond anything we can imagine. And right now, we are standing at the doorway of this revolution. This shift is happening with or without you. But the question is, will you be an observer or an active participant? Because here's the truth. Every person who unlocks their superconscious potential adds to the collective shift. And the more people who wake up, the faster this evolution accelerates. So what can you do right now to become part of this? 1. Strengthen your connection to the superconscious. Pay attention to your intuitive insights. Trust them. Notice synchronicities. See them as messages, not coincidences. Practice superconscious activation techniques like deep silence, automatic writing, and surrendered asking. 2. Use your mind consciously. Stop consuming fear-based narratives that reinforce limitation. Instead of complaining about problems, focus on solutions and possibilities. When you experience conflict, ask yourself, Am I thinking from my small self or my higher mind? 3. Connect with others who are awakening. Find communities where higher consciousness is actively developed. Engage in conversations that expand rather than limit your awareness. Remember, superconsciousness thrives in connection. We are not just witnessing evolution, we are creating it. Right now, a new kind of human is emerging. One that isn't ruled by fear, scarcity, or limitation. One that understands that consciousness is the foundation of reality itself. And once enough people step into this awareness, the entire future of humanity will shift. So the only question left is, will you be part of the next leap in evolution? Because whether you know it or not, you are already part of it. And together we are shaping the future of mind, reality, and everything beyond. Everything you've heard so far isn't just information. It's an invitation. Because superconsciousness isn't just an abstract concept or an intellectual theory. It's the next step in human evolution, and it's already happening. Right now, you stand at the threshold of a new way of thinking, perceiving, and existing. And the question is, will you step through? Because whether you realize it or not, your mind is already shifting. The fact that you've listened this far means something inside you is awakening. But awakening is just the beginning. Let's bring everything together. You've learned that your mind isn't just a single entity. It has layers. The conscious mind, which helps you navigate daily life but is severely limited. The subconscious mind, a vast powerhouse of stored memories, habits, and instincts. And the superconscious mind, the true master control room, the intelligence that connects you to infinite wisdom, universal patterns, and the very fabric of reality itself. You've also discovered that your mind isn't isolated. You are part of something far greater than yourself, a collective consciousness that influences and shapes the world. And most importantly, you've seen that we are standing on the edge of a revolution in human awareness, one that has the power to reshape our entire civilization. But knowledge alone is not enough. Now you must integrate it. 3 steps to activate your superconscious mind. The transition from knowledge to transformation requires action. Here's how you can begin integrating everything you've learned. Step 1. Shift from thinking to direct knowing. Your superconscious mind doesn't analyze, doubt, or overthink. It knows instantly. But most people block this power by second-guessing themselves. To begin unlocking superconscious intelligence, trust your first insights before your logical mind interferes. Pay attention to sudden inspirations. They often contain more truth than hours of analysis. Practice deep silence, not as a method to think less, but as a way to access higher awareness effortlessly. The more you trust your superconscious intelligence, the stronger it becomes. Step 2. Align with the universal field. You are not separate from reality. Your thoughts, emotions, and energy interact with the universal mind at all times. And once you begin consciously aligning with it, synchronicities will explode into your life. Here's how to accelerate this connection. Shift your internal state before seeking external results. Instead of reacting to circumstances, cultivate inner clarity and presence first. Then watch how reality mirrors it. Speak as if your superconscious insights are already reality. The universe responds to conviction. Pay attention to subtle nudges. The more you acknowledge them, the clearer they become. Alignment isn't something you try to do. It's something you allow to happen by getting out of your own way. Step 3. Expand beyond the small self. Right now, most of humanity is stuck in a limited identity, the idea that they are just individuals navigating a chaotic world. But the moment you shift your awareness to something bigger, everything changes. Instead of asking, "What do I want?" ask, "What is the highest expression of my consciousness?" Instead of seeing people as separate, recognize that you are interacting with other aspects of the same universal intelligence. Instead of looking at the world and feeling powerless, realize that you are already influencing it. Right now, through your mind, your energy, and your awareness. This is the greatest leap a human can take. And once you take it, you will never see life the same way again. The world is shifting. Some will resist it, clinging to the old paradigm of limitation, fear, and separation. Others will embrace it, stepping into the next evolution of mind, reality, and existence. The choice is yours. But know this, superconsciousness isn't reserved for the few. It isn't something that only mystics, philosophers, or scientists can access. It is your birthright, and the moment you choose to access it, you will unlock a reality beyond anything you thought was possible. So ask yourself, will you stay where you are? Or will you step forward into the mind's hidden superpower and into the future of human evolution? The next chapter of consciousness begins now, and you are part of it.